I'm actually starting with this statement. I was requested to do this presentation today. And while I was thinking about the project that I'm going to talk about, which is a personal photography project, I want to have sort of a catchphrase. And actually, as many people probably have done here today, research online, I found this quote. And I found it kind of sort of encapsulates what I'm trying to do today. All is for idiots, genius can handle chaos. So actually I don't really have a script today, so I try to free flow this presentation as well. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I'll try to kind of talk my way through this. I've travelled, during an introduction, actually originally from Korea. I travelled, well actually I was adopted by a Dutch family, so I was raised over there. I lived in London and studied there. I also lived in Hong Kong, Shanghai and Beijing and Shenzhen. So I've been to many places. And what I've noticed by traveling so much, that it always looks nicer when you go somewhere else. When I watch National Geographic, Discovery, all these beautiful travel programs, amazing beaches, and I always feel I have to go there. And once I'm there, I kind of sit in the bar, have a drink, do that for a weekend and go back home. And it's actually, it's really strange, and I don't know why I keep doing that. So, for the last 2 years, I actually haven't really traveled at all. I've been on and off for about 10 years in Hong Kong. And to tell a little bit more about this photography project is, my dad is a photographer. When I was younger, my dad told me things. He gave me beautiful cameras that probably are collector's items right now. But I did take pictures, but I wasn't really interested in it. The key factor was that when I had to take a picture, I had to really organize it. Now I had to sort of coordinate it, bring my camera, walk around with whatever tripods, cameras, lenses, and all those things. And for me, that was no fun. So actually, I didn't really do anything. I ended up in the creative industry, but till I kind of obviously I had my phones, and then actually I lost one of my phones, and I had to basically upgrade from a very simple model to the very important smartphone. The smartphone actually started this project because it actually allowed me to take pictures during meetings. Otherwise, I would never have taken like my whatever big camera with me and start taking pictures. So I started sort of taking pictures in between meetings. And one of the things, while I was doing that, I kind of got really interested in photography more and more. I went to the bookstores, looked at other inspirational books about Hong Kong. And I guess most people that travel to Hong Kong, or that live in Hong Kong, well, probably more than actually the tourists and people that visit Hong Kong. I guess most people know the city. It's a very, there's a hustle and bustle, a lot of different things. You have the tram, the taxis, you have millions of people in a very cramped area. And you have the temples, the wet market. And these are actually taken by my dad, by the way, those pictures. So he was here as this is tourist point of view from Hong Kong. So you've got a peak, got a temple and a taxi. So this is, I guess you've got a lot of variations on this, whether it's black and white or color. You have a lot of beautiful books. But actually, because I've lived here sort of on and off longer, so about 10 years, I kind of want to do something different. I want to look at the city different as well. So I started just sort of taking pictures, and one thing, and not because I hate people, one thing I actually, in Hong Kong, it's really difficult to take pictures without people in it. It's very tough. But somehow there are moments, and this is not like 3 o'clock in the morning, this is actually during the day. You have moments where you don't have that many people. And this is, I think, the Shanghai, you see the tram there. So I started taking pictures from my smartphone. this is another picture. This is a little bit early in the morning, but again, well, obviously I would be surprised to see someone running in the water. But obviously don't have that many people in the water. So for me, it was sort of finding within the pictures that I was taking, sort of really quiet and serene Hong Kong, because Hong Kong actually is a very, you have very beautiful areas that are very quiet. A few more. You can see that I'm very intrigued by architecture and urban landscape. For people that, this is actually where I live, by the way. And the other picture on the side is, I think that's Lee Garden in Amsterdam, which is when first time I walked in, I thought it was, wow, this is really 70s. Like sort of change the concept. But go there, it really looks like that. It's like a sort of artificial golf course. So I've been probably throughout my work, and these are basic snapshots that I've taken. I've actually never used this, but now I started taking these still more snapshots. These are all in color, obviously, for people that live here and always probably the visitors as well. You probably recognize it. I actually was requested to start an exhibition, and I'm not a professional photographer, so this is a hobby. I never started this up, I'm going to be rich and famous because of doing this. I just started taking pictures like most people do here in Hong Kong. People seem to be obsessed by photography, and everyone wants to take pictures of everything. And as Andreas said, they posted it on Facebook, and they hope that someone's going to respond and say how cool they are. Actually, I don't really, sometimes I do post pictures, so I'm a victim as well, but not many of my pictures, and it's not because I'm afraid that no one thinks I'm cool, but I don't want to share too much on Facebook. This is more black and white, and actually switched from color to black and white, and this actually the reason why I switched to black and white was more because I'm very intrigued by shape. The inner and outer space, and especially in black and white, you need to be really focused on actually the image itself. It's a very graphic approach to photography. Obviously, that's a space museum. For people that know the landmark, that's a big brand over there. And I've kind of started doing things more in black and white. And this is actually taken on the iPhone, or a smartphone, I think the name is. On the smartphone. So this was just out of from my pocket, was just waiting somewhere and just taking pictures. Just to show you, that with very basic tools, and especially with the cameras now available on smartphones, you can make amazing things. Just to show you sort of, because some people ask, oh, how much retouch of should we actually do on the pictures? And that's quite minimal. Obviously, you have the program, I think I can call it Instagram, which I don't use. But that's actually obviously on the left side. That's the original picture that I've taken from my smartphone. The only thing that I've done is basically contrast. I changed it to black and white, and that was it. I did not remove the people there. It was just quiet, and this is during lunchtime. For people that know Hong Kong, if you walk from Central to the ISC, the over Connaught Road, there are two overpass areas. Most people actually go on the, I think the left side. There's also a right overpass, and that's actually really quiet. So that's the sort of the background of the picture itself. So I had a few exhibitions, and I think the amazing thing about doing an exhibition is that I have a whole series of different pictures. That these pictures were actually all in Hong Kong. I did not travel to Laos or back to Holland or to anywhere else. I actually really started taking pictures of places that I actually pass by every day. And these are actually very beautiful places. Most people probably miss it, or they do know it, but actually it's really hard to find those kinds of pictures. So actually, as a creative person, or hopefully I am, I was taking a step further. I thought, what else can I do with those black and white pictures? Because it's obviously nice to take pictures, convert in black and white. It looks great as well. But then someone actually asked me, well, what about making a concept for a book? I said, well, I can do that, but I don't want to make a normal book. Because, well, a normal book, but basically an image with a piece of text next to it. I wanted to actually sort of experiment a little bit more with the lines and having the graphic and the text being part of the photo itself. So I ended up doing things like this. This was actually a project, about 7 days in Hong Kong, and each day has a different picture. Basically used just the day and the time, and I used that within, basically I merged it into one sort of graphic. So this is the same image as the previous one. So these were 7 days of pictures. This was taken on the Hong Kong side. And I plan to do more in the different cities. So by actually showing, and actually those pictures are still in Hong Kong, you can ask me afterwards where they are. Actually by doing those exhibitions, I just try to actually share with people that Hong Kong has a very different side than the wet markets, than the temples. It has a very contemporary side to it, especially when if you look around, it's got beautiful architecture, and especially if you go to the Hong Kong side or Kowloon side, there's so many amazing places that people can rediscover, and that's what I'm actually trying to tell with my images. That it's actually, if you walk outside, it's almost explore the dark side and explore something else, and you find beautiful places in Hong Kong.